What do you think's going to happen this week? I mean, with the whole Russia thing.
The Russia thing is just a big nothing burger.
Really?
Also interesting to remember, it's illegal to possess.
Well, they should be able to hear us, but
documents.
I don't know
It's
why
different
we
for the
can't
media. So
fucking
everything you
hear
learn
us.
about this, you're learning from us.
He could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah.
At this moment in history, as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being
I was
able to
messing with
exercise
the
their fundamental rights,
sound
prevent
settings.
people from being able to
Fucked it all
exercise
up.
their fundamental rights.
Jobs of the past are just not going to come back. And when somebody says that he's going to bring all these jobs back, well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, what magic wand do you have? How exactly?
Well, okay, we're live. What you reading?
I was just, reading a comment here on Facebook about Stranger Things, and the 80s satanic panic has been a topic of conversation since the popularity of Stranger Things. And it seems like everything 80s is repeating.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we got Kate Bush at number 1, right? Metallica's album's going pretty well. They got a lot of downloads for Ride the Lightning. D&D's fairly popular. It looks like we're going to war with Russia. There's all these things.
Yeah, I seen Metallica post a picture of themselves with the Hellfire Club shirt on.
Yeah, that's cool. That's one thing I could say. They really nailed the edginess, 14-year-old idea of edginess, because I didn't realize, back then that people were naming their D&D groups. Like, the name of our group back then was Shadow Brothers. And, it just goes to show where our mindset was at 14. But yeah, the fact that they had the Hellfire Club, that struck me as authentic. There's other things that are in the show that don't quite match to my memory of the 80s, but whatever. That was pretty genuine, uncanny, realistic, I thought. But here we are. We're on welcome to Sanctimonious American Men. I'm Saintly Barnes. What episode is this?
Episode 23.
Episode 23. We're almost at a half-year mark. With me, as always, is Saintly Brandon.
Hello.
We'd like to thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
And we're gonna shoot the shit for about 2 hours.
Yeah. I hope we're getting sound. I mean, I see it going in there.
I could check on mine. Let's see if we're getting it. I just gotta pull this up. I don't know why YouTube makes me type out this fucking whole thing every time. If it's something I never wanted to look up again, I would save it, and I would put an S in it.
Oh, yeah. Whoa, that's not the right episode. Why isn't it? Oh, okay, I was on the wrong thing. Yeah, we're getting some sound. Yeah, it worked. I don't know why it didn't come through, but it's working. We're good. We're freaking good. So, sorry about the technical difficulties, people, but everything's working fine, it seems. This week, what happened this week?
Oh man, all kinds of stuff, right?
Well, how about locally, yourself?
What happened locally I went to see the Elvis movie.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It fucking sucked.
Really?
It was pretty bad, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, it jumped around a little bit. You're in the 50s and suddenly there's clues that you're in 68. They don't tell you that they jumped all that way. The story was more about
civil rights?
No. It was more about his manager than Elvis himself.
Okay. And he was like a ruthless asshole or something, or
yeah, he was a piece of shit.
With a heart of gold,
allegedly. But he was robbing Elvis the whole time. and he tried to steal even after he got fired, and he held Elvis back because he was an illegal alien in the United States, and he wouldn't book Elvis on. Elvis got a couple deals for like $1 million for one show, which was unheard of at the time, and he declined it because it was out of the country.
And he wanted to be close, watchful eye on him.
Yeah, he wanted to keep a watchful eye on Elvis. So it was also long. It was very long. It was almost like 2 hours and 40 minutes, almost. I think. The acting was actually okay. The guy that plays Elvis, was okay. Like, he wasn't bad in any way, I don't think. It didn't really. He didn't necessarily have the look down. He was much more feminine looking than Elvis.
Okay.
And here's something that struck me is that Elvis was considered feminine during his time, right?
Okay.
Compared to the other men of the time. And feminine Elvis from the 50s is too masculine for today.
Yeah.
But it did go in a little bit into Elvis's life, and it did. There was a lot of showed where the roots of the songs came from, how where the original artist was playing them, and Elvis revamped them, for his audience.
So there was some educational stuff.
Yeah, the guy that played Little Richard nailed it. Whoever the hell that guy was. Like, first as I saw him, I was like, that's Little Richard, and then he acted exactly like him. That was pretty good. Though I never saw Little Richard that young. I wasn't alive then.
So did they have a lot of Memphis stuff in there, like the
some.
old recording studio with the?
There was, Phillips, right? Is that the guy's name? They had some Sun Records shots there. They were at the studio a couple times in the movie. Yeah.
Johnny Cash. Any other appearances? Like,
I expected to hear from like Johnny Cash or what the heck was that other?
Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, Jerry Lee Lewis. Those guys that went on tour, they didn't do any of that. So there was none of that tour.
Weird.
Really shown. They did show a tour of other guys. I don't know whether they changed the names or whatever to. I didn't actually look up Hank Gray or whatever hell his name was, who was the headliner of that first tour that Elvis got on. They could have changed those names and maybe that was it. But from the stories I heard about that tour, those guys were having a lot of fun and were friends together. And what the movie showed, his first tour, the guy that headlined didn't like him or something. So I don't know if they actually showed that or just changed the names. I don't think they did. I was disappointed that there was modern music in it.
Yeah, I think that's like becoming more popular, and it's pretty dumb. I'm not a big fan of having modern music in the period piece.
Yeah, it was so fucking dumb. Like, it's supposed to be Memphis, 1950 something, and they start playing a rap tune. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
So you went to the movies.
Yeah, I went to the Orpheum. You don't need to prove of vaccination anymore, and it's $5 Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
And they have all locally sourced products there. Like the candy they sell is from the local shops or whatever. Your niece's shop, I think, is one of them.
Lucky Chocolates. Yeah, and I'm building a wrestling room for my nephew. That's what
nice.
I was doing earlier today in the last few days. We were, me and Ty are converting his garage into a dungeon of pain.
Dungeon of pain.
Yeah, a lot of suffering is going to happen in there.
Damn.
But it's going to be fun, healthy, and it's a hopefully be used well so Santiago can become a good wrestler or a great wrestler, whatever he wants.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it runs in the blood.
Yeah. And playing a lot of guitar. We got a friend staying. You didn't get to see Ryan. Our friend Ryan Cardone is in town. He's probably up at Johnny's skating right now in Wyndham.
Johnny moved to Wyndham?
Well, this is Johnny O'Connor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's up there probably skating his brains out, silly, with all the other knuckleheads.
Cool.
Which I should be doing, but
we're here.
We got important business to attend
Important
to.
business. Which is important.
We're changing the world.
I watched Tank Girl finally.
Tank Girl.
Never saw that movie before.
I think I've seen parts. I've never watched the whole thing all the way through. What's her name?
Lori Petty.
Yeah, it's it.
You know, she's famous for, well, in my world, for Point Break. I don't know.
Point Break. Yeah.
But she was the Point Break girl. She plays the Tank Girl. And that was fine. You know, the thing about there was no plot whatsoever really to the movie. At least the plot was very, these are the bad guys, these are the good guys, you know. Like,
let's punch them.
Yeah, there was not any character development. It did hold your attention only because there was a lot of flash, but there was no substance.
Sounds like most movies today.
You know, and
ahead of its time.
It was ahead of its time in some ways. Like some of the fashion things I saw, like I was like, you know, she kind of looked like Gwen Stefani in some of the things. And, you know, I think the movie came out in 95, was probably made in 94.
Yeah, Gwen probably watched it as a young girl and was like, oh, this is rad.
Yeah, this is cool. I want to be like that. You know, they had like furry army helmets and stuff. It was weird. But it was mostly, you know, a pop culture showcase of the 90s. But here's the thing, though. So I'm watching it and I'm thinking, you know, I got Tank Girl 1, 2, and 3 in the comics in perfect condition, and I never even read them. And I looked them up, and they're worth some money. I was like, shit.
Time to reinvest.
Reinvest, yeah. I don't know what the hell I paid for those back in the day, but
it wasn't probably as much as they're worth now.
No. And I think I almost remember thinking, like, I should get these and just, because I had no interest in Tank Girl, I should just get these and hold on to them. I think that's what I did.
That's a smart move.
I guess it was.
How about Eric July and his Rippaverse making waves?
No, I didn't hear that.
Well, he's a young Rippa on YouTube, and he's part of like Geeks and Gamers Squad, and you know, those guys get a bunch of flack for being, you know, whatever, just reporting stuff they don't like. They don't like Star Wars. They called it out, and they're getting bashed as, like, you know, toxic fandom.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
So anyways, Eric July creates a comic book universe, and he launches it like earlier this week. And he crowdsourced it, and he's already made like over $1.5 million.
What is it called? Like iMod or something?
Yeah, that's the name of the main character. It's I think you're right, Imon or Imos or
something like that. Yeah, Imos. I did see that. That was making its way through the
yeah, and he's getting tons of hate because, you know, Marvel and DC are
woke, and he's not.
Exactly.
Yeah, I heard that. You know, I'm in a lot of those groups online, and I see that people were raving over this comic book.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying a copy myself. You reminded me when you're talking about buying Tank Girl. Could be something, a good investment, or just a good read.
No, it could be. You're right, actually. And for a few bucks.
Because if it like takes off, it'll be a movie someday.
Yeah, and then it'll be worth money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, I noticed that there wasn't much time in between the Tank Girl release and the movie. There was like 4 years.
Right.
And so there must have been like 3 years by the time they started making the movie.
Well, that was probably right in the beginning of movie craze, like after Batman, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So Batman 89.
Ooh, yeah. Vicky Vale.
Stop the press.
I'm going to bust that body. Yeah, Prince.
That soundtrack.
Yeah. Batman.
So, yeah, 95. It was right after that. Everybody's probably trying to get in on the comic book craze.
Right.
And then it didn't really pick up again until like the X-Men later in the early 2000s.
Right.
When it started making the muns. What else this week? Today's our best viewer's birthday, Randy.
Oh, yeah. Happy
birthday, Randy.
Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. We're going to have Randy on soon.
Someday he'll be on. Hopefully sooner than later.
Whenever he has time. What else we got? We got some Biden gaffes, of course, you know.
Oh, it was my friend Chris Hogan's birthday.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Biden said this week, end of quote, repeat the line.
Yeah, Biden was reading the teleprompter. He got Tom Burgundy.
Oh, my God.
Repeat the quote. End the line.
End the line. It's like, what the hell is going on with this dude?
Hunter. We already talked about Hunter in his tank,
God.
right?
What?
He was in his
Yeah, I think we talked about that last week.
in his deprivation tank with the White Claws and the crack cocaine.
Yeah, and the crack cocaine and the fucking night vision. The new one is his music video.
Somebody made a music video about him, right? Or is it his?
I think it's his. I didn't really look into it because I'm kind of fucking tired of seeing this guy's penis, to be honest.
You're tired of seeing Hunter's penis?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see. I've seen too much of Hunter over the last 3 years. And I would... Oh, yeah, maybe somebody made it.
Yeah, and it was like #1 on iTunes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, somebody made something about him that went to #1 on iTunes.
Unbelievable. I mean, he's in these fucking videos and he's saying, my boss is the Chinese spy master. And this is why his dad has no position. He's just a civilian, right? Well, he's an ex-vice president. But this guy's got Secret Service because he's in one of the families. It's like, what the fuck are we paying for? Why is this happening?
Why did he have his dad allegedly in his phone as Pedo Pete?
That's what I'd like to know. Why is Pedo Pete there? Now, we can't say 100% that.
That's what it is.
Right, but that's what it looks like. You know, I saw the messages. And it looks like he's talking to his dad. It's, you know.
That's a good name to call your dad.
And he's got them in different groups. You know, so like one of them, he makes an off comment about Jill Biden too. So it's like Pedo Pete and something witch or bitch or something. And then he's got another one, you know, Pedo Pete and his brother and sister or whatever. So he had different, you know, package groups in his phone where he would text to. And it's like, huh, these are all people. Pedo Pete seems to know the same people Joe Biden knows. Hangs out in the same circles. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's my mom's just listed as mom in the phone. You know, I don't really have a description. There's really not much of a description about anybody, you know, adjective wise in my phone. You know, I think I got.
I mean, if I meet somebody and it's just like a really quick, like, oh yeah, here's my number, and I didn't get their last name, I'll put in like the city they're from or where I met them, maybe.
Right. I mean, let me just go through my contacts.
And then I never call them again.
Right. Let me go through my contacts and see if I have anybody that has any kind of.
Did you see any of that what happened with that abortion thing?
What about the illegal guy that raped a 10-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah. I looked for it as soon as he said it, and I couldn't find shit about it. And then a couple days later, finds out, say, arrested some illegal for raping a 10-year-old.
But they didn't. The state that they supposedly fled because they would be arrested if they tried to get an abortion, allows for, you know, it has exemptions for rape and pedophilia or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. Incest, rape and incest. So they didn't even report it in the state that it was in. So it was kind of like they did it on purpose just to make the story.
Just to make the story, right.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's hard.
So now the people that took the minor out, which, and I still have to look into the story because it's still questionable if it was a minor. But the people that took them out of state without reporting it are facing charges. Because.
Why?
Because they still could have got it in the state they left. So they didn't report it. They left the state without reporting it.
The crime?
Yes.
Wow. That's weird.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. It just seems like a hot mess all the way around.
Seems fishy, right?
Yeah. Hot messes.
What else I got going? I've been watching Rome.
The old
HBO.
Rome?
Yeah,
That's a good one. I like that.
I got Diane into it. You know, she's like, I like
How many seasons was that?
There was only 2.
2?
The funny part about it is Diane's, you know, whenever we like watch something or whatever, whenever I'm like, you know, we'll say something in passing, we pass each other in the house or something. And she's been doing the salute.
From Rome?
And I'm like, I don't know if you want to do that. Like, yeah, but like, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a good thing.
It's pretty close to another one.
Yeah. I mean, the Bellamy salute.
The Bellamy?
Yeah, the guy that wrote the Pledge of Allegiance that was the salute to the Pledge of Allegiance. But the what is it? Anti-Defamation League, right, or whatever. They boycotted it. They brought it and had it banned. They because of the Nazis. But the Nazis stole that from us. You know, we were using it to salute the flag. That was part of the original package. Instead of putting your hand over your heart, you know, playing Pledge of Allegiance. It was the Roman salute at one time. And you know, this country's a republic, like Rome was. Yeah.
Did you ever see? This is a movie I watched this past week, and it was with James Earl Jones, and I forget the woman's name, but it was the Betty and Barney Hill UFO like movie.
No, I never saw that
from
movie.
like 68 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I never saw the movie.
Maybe it was more 73 or I don't know, but it was an old movie, and they made a movie about it, and I was like, holy shit!
I didn't know that.
And it was pretty good. And I totally forgot because they got into the map that she made
with the stars,
and they didn't even know those stars existed for another like 8 years or something.
Right. That reminds me of there was this case in England in the 80s for this guy that he did some work for the BBC, and he brought home his computer, and allegedly ghosts.
I love that story.
We're talking to him, and they were talking about
from time travelers too.
Time travelers too. We're talking to him, and they were talking about some star that we have now found.
Oh wow!
That we didn't know existed. Yeah, the time traveler said it's going to play a major role in our future.
That's a odd story. I forget what it.
Basically, the guy borrows a computer from the BBC for his work.
Takes it home,
and he gets some cryptic message that's written like Old English. He shows it.
Yeah. It was Old English.
He also worked at some university. I think it was Oxford. He showed it to, the guy that specializes in Old English, and the guy was like, "Yeah, it looks like 1600 something, like 1620 talk."
It looked legit too, right?
Yeah, in this particular area. Now, some of the things, as the communications went on, some of the vernacular and grammar didn't match. There was a few examples, not many, but for the most part it matched. And he kept getting these messages on his computer, and he hired private investigators and paranormal researchers, and nobody ever caught him like typing the stuff into the computer.
He'd like go to work, or he'd go somewhere and he'd come back and there'd be a whole new text file.
And the guy in the 1600s was calling it the light box in his house. He found a light box of letters, and we then talked about where he lived, and he said that, I lived in this place, and it was red brick, and it was down by the water, and, the guy, this was been on the same guy's property, and so eventually they excavated the spot, and they found red brick foundation in this place. What else happened? Another one of the proofs was a book or a series of books that the guy supposedly wrote in the 1600s that were in the Oxford Library.
Really?
Yeah, and it credited this guy. And he also said he wrote another book and hid it because he's afraid of getting trialed as a witch and all this shit.
Did they find the book?
They haven't found the book yet.
Do.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, I think there's a couple holes in the story, but overall, there's a lot of.
Well, it was a well done hoax. If it was,
it was well done.
Damn well done.
Right. That's an interesting story. I forget what that family's called. But yeah, they allegedly were talking to somebody of the past from the 1600s and somebody from the future.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time.
How about Biden getting all angry, coming at that reporter? He's like, 96% of people want me to run again. 96. There were some polls out this week, and I guess it was like something like 94% of, or 8. Let's just say it was 85% of voters, Democratic voters under 30, want a different candidate.
Yeah, they want a different candidate. Yeah.
And somebody was asking Biden about it, and he got fucking irate, and it was funny. It was funny.
He just makes shit up on the fly.
They don't. Jeez, the podium there, man. Between Jen Psaki and this new girl, it's like they don't answer questions. They just make up shit.
They just make up shit. She's the worst.
What are they saying now? We're the best economy in the world. We're doing the best. Never better before. Been better.
I mean, all these numbers are coming from a lockdown state. Like, we were locked down, you know. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, employment rate hasn't gone down really at all. You know,
people just stopped looking for work.
That's just it. People just started working.
They got out of the
labor force.
So ISOM, that's what it's called. ISOM.
ISOM.
Yeah. There's just ridiculous stuff going on out there. You got Alex Stein going after AOC, saying she's his favorite big booty Latina.
That was funny, and she fucking lied about that whole thing.
The whole interaction, she lied about. She was
nice in the interaction. She thought she was getting compliments, I think, and then afterwards she realized she was getting trolled.
She went and says it's sexual harassment.
Started making shit up. Said she said juicy. That
juicy ass.
That wasn't never mentioned.
He didn't say it once.
Right.
And then she deleted that tweet because she realized it was going to be called out.
Well, she's a fucking grifter. I mean, straight up. She applied. She applied for an audition
to be a congresswoman.
To be a congresswoman by what is her name? Something Blue. I can't remember, but some group was auditioning people to run for Congress. Some left group, and she won the audition, and she's in Congress now.
Yep, that's where we're at. We should go to some auditions, huh?
Yeah, right. Here's a tweet I saw. I don't know what the corporate press. I don't know how the corporate press, which reduces Pride Month to mimosas, kissing, and walking around shirtless, is going to report on Hunter having his dad stored in his contacts as Pedo Peter. There's too much there for them to investigate into their narrative. Yeah. I don't know why I thought that was good. Doesn't seem as good now.
Hindsight's 20/20, you know?
Yeah, so when I was looking at it, they started scrubbing it. That's why I was looking at it online.
Well, yeah, there's a ton of screenshots from Google that are like, "Oh, this story's changing fast. Check back later. We need sources like whatever they were saying they wanted. What the fuck was it there? Like verified sources."
So I got this off of 4chan.
So what they're saying really is they need some fake ass news outlets to like print up something that says mostly false.
So I took screenshots of the conversation that was going on 4chan before that got took down. And it's got all the passwords, it's got all the codes to it. I don't even understand this talk because it's all programmer jargon. Talking about chip codes, keychains, and stuff I don't understand. Here is a list of some of the passwords he used. So there's a link to the password spot. One of the things about they found, one was a fake FBI server, allegedly, or page, a fake FBI page, like a spoof page of the FBI. And his phone was connected to the Department of Defense server a couple of times. Which is strange, because why was his phone on the Department of Defense server? What the fuck does Hunter Biden have to do with the Department of Defense is really what I want to know. This guy's a train wreck. Nothing, whatever. I would have loved to see shit on Eric or Don Jr.,
I mean, that would be headline after headline if it was one of the Trump kids.
I would have watched. I would have saw it. I mean,
yeah, we'd watch it.
Not Barron, because Barron was... Leave Barron
He's still a kid.
You leave him alone. But the other ones are fucking fair game, and I would love to see, and Ivanka's not a bad-looking girl. I would love to see. And so, but I didn't get to see that, though I was seeing shit about Hunter Biden, from 2018 forward.
How about Ivana?
She passed away, right?
Yeah. And now, I mean, I'd have to look back, but
she fell down the stairs.
Somebody told me it was, now it's being ruled a suspicious death.
Yeah, she allegedly fell down the stairs.
Hillary got her.
Hillary got her.
Hillary was behind her.
Yeah, fucking not funny. It's all funny until you watch
Until she comes through the door.
until you see her fucking committing crimes. I've seen her once. She was committing a crime. I didn't know it at the time.
Just go back to episodes 2,
Yeah,
15,
you want to hear this?
17, 18 for those stories.
You want to hear my story or interaction with Hillary Clinton?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of he's got a couple different episodes. He went over the Hillary breaking laws, and he witnessed it.
So Snoop Dogg came out with a new strain of marijuana. He released this week.
What's it called?
Sleepy Joe OG.
Sleepy Joe OG.
Snoop Dogg came out with a new strain of weed called Sleepy Joe OG. It boasts that if you smoke it, you won't even remember what country you're in.
That's the selling point.
Yeah, it's a real thing. That's not even.
Oh my God. I wonder if it's that good.
I imagine it's an indica.
It's got to be an indica,
right?
Yeah.
But did we talk about the bacon recall last week?
You did. We talked about bacon. Don't eat it, folks. Not for a little while.
Canadian internet blackout. Yeah.
Any more January 6th? There was something about the January 6th mutts.
There's been a lot of talk about that. Here's the thing about the January 6th.
Oh, they showed Tim Pool. They showed him in a couple clips.
Yes, he was. They even got
fucking asshole.
They even named Salty Cracker. Now, for you that don't know, Salty Cracker
is hilarious.
He's basically a comedian. He does do political commentary. He is a righty, but 90% of his show is joking around.
And it's just complete ridiculous commentary.
Right. The commentary is absolutely over the top.
It's almost a character. Salty's
Yes.
got running a character.
He's got a character because there's no way he could function like that out in the real world. No, he's got, there was a kid we went to school with, Sean. How you doing? Sean had all these nicknames for everybody. I don't know if you remember or not, but he had a nickname for everybody. And it was always some kind of like half funny, half insult type of thing. Salty does that a lot as well.
So they showed Salty, they showed Alex, they showed Tim Pool, all in this montage, like trying to get people to believe like it was all coordinated. It was
all
a plan
coordinated by Alex Jones,
and Tim Pool and Trump's followers.
Right. I mean, the shit's so fucking ridiculous. I don't even know how it's gotten this far. I mean, to me,
I don't even think it's gotten far. I think people are turning it off.
Well,
I mean,
it's not fucking nothing's happening.
They don't have any viewers.
This is like a continuous.
We got about as many viewers as CNN.
Yes, exactly. This is like a continuous strikeout of the left. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there, but I mean, they won the elections, but they haven't had any other victories. They haven't passed any bill. Maybe they did pass bills, but they haven't affected my life at all. Yet. So, they haven't overturned anything that they were upset about. They haven't. None of their promises have come on. Kids still got fucking up to their eyeballs.
What were their promises? They had health care and the
school
education
debt.
Debt, and they had the Green Deal. They're kind of doing that. They're killing the energy.
Kind of
sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for the gas prices.
Bastards. Holy shit.
At the same time, sticking their finger at Elon Musk.
Right.
It's like the guy that's trying to change the world into a better energy efficient place. They're like, no, he's a piece of shit though. Like they didn't even, what was that? They didn't even invite him to the fucking electric car fucking
expedition or
expo. There was like Joe Biden had a thing on electric, or it was a federal thing.
Okay. So they had some kind of
energy
expo,
and they didn't even invite Elon Musk.
Yeah, well,
they think he's an asshole. So
I think he's an asshole. Yeah, I remember,
and he did just have a rocket malfunction the other day.
Did he?
Yeah,
I remember I watched this thing produced by Dr. Judy Wood. Now she gets on into like the Star Wars program and 9/11 and all that shit. But one of the things in that thing was they were talking about energy, right? And
energon cubes.
No, they were talking about energy, and They were trying to say that some form of energy was viable or something, and I know it had to do with oil. And the committee votes on the science, and it's like science decided by popular vote. It's fucking weird. And so I think the energy department in this country has been messed up for a long time.
Yeah, that goes without saying. I mean, we have a bunch of oil corporations holding us over the barrel.
True.
I mean, it works to some extent for the American dream, but not lately.
Not lately.
I guess Mexico's average price of gas is like $1 cheaper than ours, and it's like, why the fuck is that?
Because they got different deals than we do.
Well, why are we paying so much?
I don't know.
Why are we shipping so much money to Ukraine?
Oh, we're giving the fucking.
Why are we giving our oil to China?
Hmm.
Our oil reserves?
Because they got fucking dark blackmail on Biden. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it seems like the simplest fucking answer. That's the what is it there? Murphy's Law? Occam's Razor or Murphy's
I think
Law?
Occam's Razor is about.
Yeah, Murphy's Law is the simplest explanation. Is usually.
Is that Murphy's Law?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know, but I know what you're saying.
I don't know. Occam's Razor, maybe.
Somebody's window or something. That's one of them, right? That's like a time frame. Either way, I mean, it very well could be. Biden said we were going to phase out fossil fuels. He didn't say how.
Anything will go wrong is Murphy's
Law, right?
What are you saying?
So he promised to phase out fossil fuels. Now, we thought that was going to happen through legislature, but it looks like it's just going to happen through bad policy.
Yeah.
Now he's over in Saudi Arabia begging for fucking oil.
And they said no.
And they gave him a cold shoulder. And, they're going about the fist bump thing. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, Occam's Razor. You were right. Simplest theory.
Simplest theory is probably right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so here's the thing. Early on, when Trump got elected, the news came out that he took a phone call from Taiwan. And I was like, so what? Taiwan won't exist without the U.S. We should take phone calls from them. And the news was really criticizing about it, and they were just going over the fucking top. And I'm like, what is going on here? And that kind of sparked my thing to like, why are all these people against Trump? Right? I can understand if you think he's going to do a bad job, right? He didn't have a chance to do a bad job at that point. So I was like, there's got to be something else here. And then I remembered a conversation I had with Pat. I don't know if I talked about this on the show before. Pat Shelton there down in Florida. I was staying.
What's up, Pat?
What's up, Pat? I was staying with him, and him and his friends worked at the country club. Pat had worked there since he was, a teenager.
Which club?
Boca Raton.
Okay.
And one day they came home all stressed, and they never talked about like who was there or anything like that. They had to sign non-disclosure things. So when him and his friends would come home after work and have a couple beers, whatever, watch TV, smoke cigarettes, unwind. And one particular night they came home and they were visibly all stressed. Like I could tell they were stressed. And I was like, what's going on? And he's like, I got to clean the whole bar from top to bottom. And I was like, why? And he was like, because Trump's coming and he's only going to be in there for a few minutes because he doesn't even drink. And I got to clean the whole bar from top to bottom. He's probably going to order a soda and tip me $100 and walk out the door. Stay for 15 minutes, say hello. And so, I remember them saying that. And then months went by and I didn't hear anything about it. And they were all hanging out one night, and somehow I got reminded of it. And I said, hey, whatever happened with that Trump deal? And this is the 90s, where all I know about Trump is that he's really gaudy.
Yeah, he's got some casinos.
He's
and
greedy. He's somebody I wouldn't hang out with.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Trump didn't get in. He was just trying to buy a property. And I was like, why didn't he get in? He's like, well, he's not a member of a secret society, and he's also new money. He's nouveau rich. And I was like, how do you know that being part of a secret society is a requirement? Secret,
Yeah.
He's like, well, my dad's a member. That's how I got the job. And he's part of a secret society. And he told me, I'm like, oh. So after Trump got elected, I remember thinking, I wonder if that's the reason why all these people were saying shit. And it led me down a path where I started to name like list motivations people can have. And you can't prove anything, a lot of stuff from the internet. It's hard to tell, you don't know what kind of interactions people have. The internet only helps you so much. So I couldn't prove anything financial, any kind of financial means or anything like that. And then the idea just hit me, blackmail. Maybe Trump's got blackmail on these fucking people. And then I haven't found anything to fucking unprove my theory yet,
Mm-hmm.
and I may never, find it because maybe it's not.
Well, to me, like the Occam's razor thing, which the simplest theory tends to be the true one, is when you see he becomes president and he says some crazy shit during his inauguration speech that's just fucking nutty, but at the same time it's kind of true.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we're gonna get the fuck out of the wars. We're gonna, stop fucking taking care of everybody. We're gonna take care of America. And then day one, the whole media just says he's whatever, a Russian spy. He's a piece of shit.
Right off the bat.
And it's like before he decided to run for president, he was beloved by the media, and of course he had a shitty TV show. But whatever. I mean, it was a weird change.
Change.
Like all of a sudden, he's racist and he's this
all this
and
stuff.
He's that. He's the worst. He's Hitler.
He's Hitler. Yeah.
So that's a lot of money, all working together.
Yes, against them for some reason, and the only thing I could come up with was blackmail. Now it's funny that a few years later, the Epstein thing starts to happen. We know that blackmail is happening. Ghislaine Maxwell is trafficking fucking kids to nobody. Fucking now we got Ricky Martin abusing his nephew, accused of abusing his nephew. I mean, I think
got Kevin Spacey in court.
He's in court in England. Now here's something about Kevin Spacey. I think he's king of England, right?
What?
Kevin Spacey's king of England, correct?
In what? A movie?
No, in real life.
Fuck if I know.
I saw him on the throne.
Oh, well, there you go with your
He was on the throne.
So was Ghislaine, right?
So I think she's queen of England, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they were on the throne, and my point is, we don't live in a monarchy. And I'm not a fucking expert on New York law, never mind fucking English law. But I think they're not allowed to do that. I think that's illegal. I think that's like treason or something.
I don't know anything about that.
I mean, I know.
Let's see.
I know it's gotten people killed in the past for sitting on the throne. You're not allowed to do that. But if it was illegal, which I'm assuming it was, I mean, I don't think the queen asked him to sit on the fucking throne. That's the sovereign's throne, right? The sovereign's chair. He's not sovereign. That could be high treason, which we don't have in this country. We only have regular treason.
Says only the ruling monarch is allowed to sit there for official events. So with Her Majesty not in attendance, the throne is moved aside, instead replaced with an inch shorter consort's throne used by Charles or whatever.
All right, so I think they have
maybe they weren't on
the
throne. Maybe they were on the consort's throne.
Right, they might have been on some other one. Either way, it does make you wonder, like if that was illegal, how come they were never charged?
That's not cool.
Right. I mean, Kevin Spacey is...
I mean, those creepy videos. Go watch. I mean, I bet you YouTube don't even have them on anymore.
With kindness. And all his accusers start dying from suspicious ways.
Let's see.
The kill him with kindness thing?
Yeah. They're still on. 3 years ago. Yep. Sitting in his kitchen. He's got the cup from England.
From Windsor.
Mm-hmm.
And
then he did one 2 years ago too, each Christmas Eve. And it seems like the past few years. But yeah, if you guys want to see some creepy shit, go watch Kevin Spacey's creepy video.
And try to look at the times when they came out and what was going on in the news.
Epstein everywhere.
Right. Now he bought that cup out, I think, before we knew that he was in Windsor Palace, right? Or maybe after. I don't know, but I think that was the case.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but I remember thinking, as soon as I thought about it, and the cup and the Windsor thing, I was like, "That's where he got that from. It's that fucking trip."
What about that Elon roasting what's her name from CNN?
Who? I don't watch CNN. I have no idea.
Stephanie Brule.
I'm not sure who that is.
I guess he tweeted some excuse me. I'm gonna find it right now.
I haven't watched news in so long. I just found out that within like the last couple months that fucking who's the guy? Bill O'Reilly isn't a news announcer anymore.
He's a schmuck.
That's the last time I watched news. Bill O'Reilly was on. That's what I knew of Fox News was Bill O'Reilly, and that was it.
So Hunter Biden posts a picture of this guy. He's got like 10 cameras on his head.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
That meme?
Yeah, it says Hunter Biden every time he buys crack and hookers.
Yes, every time. This guy fucking videotapes everything.
Got cameras everywhere.
So ridiculous.
Oh, God, that picture is funny. So Elon's a good troll. He posts that. And then this Stephanie Rule says, imagine the positive impact you could have here on the world if you use the extraordinary amount of influence and power you have to spread decency and kindness and positivity. So he writes back to her, imagine if MSNBC did that.
Right? Imagine. I mean, we have Amy Klobuchar from, what is she, CBS? She was going on about how she had it all. She had Epstein, the kids, the trafficking, the royal family.
Not Amy Klobuchar. Someone else.
Whatever.
The reporter.
The reporter, yeah.
Amy Klobuchar's
a Congress, a senator?
I don't know. She's one of them. She's senator, maybe.
Yeah. Where's she from? Minnesota or Maine? I can't remember. Anyway, I don't know where she's from, but yeah.
The other woman, yeah, she had that story.
She had that story.
And they crushed it.
They crushed it. They said they got pressured.
The same person that crushed that story is putting the January 6th hearings together. The same producer.
Oh, my God.
How you like that?
I laugh in Sri Lankan. Because Sri Lanka, they had a real insurrection. That's real. Another thing about this fucking insurrection is, and here's the one question I need people to answer. Who told the military and the executive branch to prepare for the incoming Biden administration? Because that order went out.
To prepare for them?
Trump did. Trump told them to prepare for accepting the Biden administration back in November.
Yeah.
How do you tell the military to prepare for the Biden administration and do a coup at the same time? Doesn't make any sense.
Right. I understand.
That's the person
I
who
understand
gives
what
the
you're
order.
saying.
How did he give the order to tell them to prepare for the Biden administration and try to overthrow the government all?
I mean, that story's so old. I mean, I remember having all these reports of like, Trump wanted to have the National Guard on hand.
Yeah, he offered.
And Pelosi was like, no.
No. Now, here's another thing in that AOC thing that came out. When she was blabbing.
Yeah.
About.
She started talking about the police letting people in.
Right. And she mentioned that the police have to open the door for her to get in.
Mm-hmm.
That they were automated or something. They had to put in a code.
Yeah, she kind of stuck her foot in her mouth by...
Kind of stuck her foot in her mouth about the January 6th thing by revealing that to the public. I didn't know
the
that.
public doesn't even know that the police opened the door.
I didn't know that. No.
You didn't? Shut the fuck up.
I didn't know that the police opened the door at Capitol.
You lying piece of shit.
How did I know that? I didn't know that. I've never been to the Capitol. I don't know if there's a check-in or what.
Dumb bastard.
I don't know what kind of doors they got there.
Oh, my God.
That was news to me when I heard that. I was like, oh. So the police let them in, is what you're saying. Because that's the only way in, right?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give it to that Stein character guy. He was fucking hilarious.
Yes.
AOC.
She's my favorite. Look at big booty Latina, my favorite.
My favorite. She wants to kill babies.
She's so pretty. She wants to kill babies.
She's beautiful.
Oh man,
that guy killed me.
He's a nut. He is a nut. Yeah. What else we got this week?
Some Finnish. I caught this late. So a Finnish politician was she got charged with criminal charges because she shared a quote from the Bible on the internet.
What?
This was last year, I guess. A Finnish
politician
shared a quote. Criminal charges after tweeting a quote from the Bible.
This is from last year, though.
Yeah, this happened last year, but it did catch me. I was like, what? This is from April 30th, 2021. An MP in Finland is facing jail over social media posts that included a quotation from the Bible. ADF International, a Christian legal group, said that I can't pronounce Finnish, Pavi Parasian, I'm sure I butchered that, could receive 2 years prison sentence for the tweet after the Finnish prosecutor general announced April 29th that she would be subject to criminal charges. The MP, a physician and mother of 5, could also face additional jail time if convicted of the 2 other alleged offenses relating to her comments in a 2004 pamphlet and on a 2018 television program, this group said. The prosecutor general charged, whatever the hell her name is, with incitement against minority group, arguing that her statements were likely to cause intolerance, contempt, and hatred towards homosexuals.
Everything's intolerance.
Oh my God, it's always dangerous and violence. You can't say anything. Who served as Finland's interior from 2011 to 15 said, "I cannot accept that voicing my religious beliefs could be an imprisonment. I consider myself guilty of threatening, slander, or insulting anyone. I do not consider myself guilty. My statements were all based on the Bible's teaching on marriage and sexuality." Finland is a country of 5.5 million people, bordering Norway, Russia, and Sweden. Around 2/3 of the population belong to the Evangelical Lutheran Church of Finland, one of the country's 2 national churches, alongside with the Orthodox Church of Finland. The 61-year-old MP, who was chairman of the Christian Democrats Party from 2004 to 2015, is an active member of the Finnish Lutheran Church, but she questioned the church's sponsorship of LGBT Pride event in 2019. On June 7th,
now we're getting to the root of the problem.
On June 17, 2019, she asked in a Twitter post how the sponsorship was compatible with the Bible, linking a photograph of a biblical passage, Romans 1:24 through 27. On Instagram, she also posted the text image to Facebook. The purpose of my tweet was no way to insult sexual minorities, but my criticism was aimed at the leadership of the church, she told the Journal first thing last year. Police began investigating her in 2019. She underwent several police interviews and had to wait more than a year for prosecutor general's decision. Yeah, so she got arrested.
She blew it.
Now, that reminded me of the Howland. Did you catch that? Senator Howland?
No.
So they had this Berkeley professor. I can't remember what she's a professor of. He was questioning her. Is it Howland or Howard? I thought it was Howland. He was questioning her, and she said that his line of questioning was violent against minorities or whatever, and he was like, "Me asking questions is violence?" And she just kept going on about it. She wouldn't answer the question.
What about the woman that was in Canada saying that eating meat is toxic masculinity?
That's a little bit older, but I saw that.
Yeah, it's nuts.
How
about New York? How to survive nuclear?
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
What the fuck was that?
Let's talk about how to survive a nuclear strike in New York.
Why was New York City talking about surviving a nuclear strike? 1, 2. Why are the instructions so fucking backwards?
I didn't see the instructions. All I know is I was like, why are you talking about this? I know why, because you're getting people friggin' scared.
Right.
Yeah.
You're getting them scared.
You want to fucking scare them into voting or doing something.
Right. I also saw that they were talking
wearing your masks.
Wearing your mask or something. So in that warning, they told people to stay inside, stay away from windows.
Stay inside. Stay away from windows.
Yeah, let me take this. Who the hell is this?
Go ahead, take it. Tell them they're on the show.
Hello, you're live on air. Hello. Hey, Alex. Yeah, we're live. I'm not home. No, I'll text you when I get back. Oh, that's all right.
Just tune in.
I'll talk to you later.
Just tune in.
Later.
You're live on the air.
On the air. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Just tune on in, man.
Yeah, shit's got out of hand, Brandon.
Why? Why are they telling people to put their clothes in a bag and zip them up? If
I don't know, but they told people to go inside, stay away from windows, and to close the window inside the same sentence. I'm like, and then they said go towards the middle of the building and wait for media. Now,
wait for media?
Yeah, to give them further instructions.
Oh my God!
Now, I don't know a lot of people or anybody that's actually survived the nuclear thing, but I do know that if you got nuked,
going inside ain't gonna do much.
There ain't gonna be no fucking media, you know.
Not gonna be much media.
You're probably not gonna have electricity. There's gonna be a big EMP all around the place. Radio waves don't travel through that shit. So it's like, what media are they talking about? What would the town crier gonna come running around? What media? Because
also there's the other thing.
Cut.
No, there is no more like radio or like airwave fucking communication. Remember, they got rid of all that, and it's almost next to illegal to use those waves because
there's still radio.
We went to digital. Well, radio, yes, but like for television and whatnot,
right? You're not gonna get that. I mean, there's gonna be a cut in the line somewhere.
Who's got a fucking antenna anymore? Nobody.
I have antennas still.
Yeah, you do. You guys old CRT.
I got one that it's on a magnet. I don't use it, but it's for camping.
I'm just concerned. I don't like that. Talking about friggin' nuclear war in New York City.
No, that's fucking nuts. And I have to reassess my whole escape plan because they're going to be up here like in a minute.
In a hot minute.
In a hot fucking minute, which means we're going to have to go to the Adirondacks.
You're going to have some radiation zombies walking around.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to get out of here. Now, my plan is...
Flesh falling off their bone.
See, if I go this side of the river, I feel like it's going to be more difficult to get to the Adirondacks in a panic situation.
Versus being on the other side of the river?
Yeah, there's less population over there.
Are you sure?
Well, yeah, and this side we got Albany, Cohoes, Colony, Utica, Syracuse. There's a lot of little cities up there. Even like Saratoga Springs and Schenectady and is that the one? Yeah, Schenectady are fairly populated. But I mean, you get past Glens Falls or whatever the hell it is. Up by Lake George, and there's nothing. It's a Plattsburgh.
Well, better get that bug out bag ready.
I got the bug out bag pretty much ready. I do have that. I got a suitcase.
Chilling with the Boogaloo Boys.
Yeah, I'll be ready. I got my shirt on. Got my Hawaiian shirt on. But yeah,
So,
I did analyze my escape plan.
I don't even know what my plan is. It's gonna be good though.
It's gonna be good. I mean,
it's gonna be real.
Providing
fucking good.
they don't. Let's just say there's a nuclear war. Hopefully it would be limited, right? So Albany doesn't get nuked because that would be like 5th on the list as far as big cities in New York. Obviously New York City's probably
first on the list
in the whole fucking hemisphere. So we're gonna have to deal with that here.
Well, it does fit nicely into a eugenics plan if they're actually trying to erase fucking population. Which the food and the gas and stuff, if it starts really getting bad, it's not like a coincidence.
No, it's definitely not.
It's all set up. It all could have been prevented.
Yeah, absolutely.
By just not locking people down for 2 years.
The fuck? Change of policy or whatever. I mean, I fear that it could get bad. And that's the problem with this shit is paradigms only change at the peak of their destruction. You know, like they don't fucking change before that. You know, Rome didn't wake up until it was too late. Like fucking.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that people need to experience that in order to
wake the fuck up.
Yeah. But that's what I fear it's going to take. It's going to take a lot of blood, you know.
Yeah, well,
unfortunately.
I think America is the last, whatever you want to say, node that's holding up fucking globalization.
Well, yeah.
It's everybody else is kind of in line. China, they're like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
I think they're fucking orchestrating it.
Yeah.
They're the model for the New World Order,
mm-hmm.
you know.
And then, you know, America's the only one that's like fucking shit. I mean, looks like Canada's ready to fucking go for it. Big with that schmuck Trudeau who's got them all fucking brainwashed.
Yeah. The Canadians are upset still.
I mean, there's a lot of good Canadians for sure.
I'm not saying it, you know, there's that, but I'm saying like the left faction to the left has definitely taken over. Obviously, I don't understand hockey, but
they've taken over to like the
game, yeah, up there.
they're in the fucking the booth calling the fucking
they took over the league up there.
Yep. League offices.
League offices
full of woke SJWs.
Yeah. The CHL, Canadian Hockey League.
So I don't know what's gonna fucking happen, but it's not good when they're coming out with fucking PSAs about nuclear fucking attacks.
And it's ones that are so vague and like giving you bad information.
They might as well have just said, in case of a nuclear attack, put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye.
In case of a nuclear attack, grab a gun and blow your head off. Don't wait it out. Why suffer?
Damn.
I'm like, what the and first of all, why is New York City getting that message? You're fucking ground zero. You're dead. Like,
right. You think they would have put it on the outsides? Yeah, they would be like, this is for everybody living 80 miles away from New York City.
Middletown, you know? Like maybe here, maybe we should have got that warning.
If you're fucking in New York City, just forget about it.
Yeah.
Just forget about it.
Just forget about it.
No message is going to help.
Nothing. You're ash, man. Like, yeah.
Pompeii.
Yeah, you're Pompeii.
Hot, frothy.
Yes.
Raining down on them.
It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, I don't understand why they gave that, because those people aren't going to survive the initial blast. I mean, Russia has some pretty big nukes.
Well, you know, it would be nice if we just fucking got the fuck out of Ukraine and, you know, got back to being a normal society and stop paying these high gas prices to fight a war in some other country that we're not really fighting. We're just giving them fucking billions of dollars every week, it seems.
I mean, I agree. And this is the way I break this problem down to people. If you were to create a new world order, right? Just say you wanted to create a new world order. Right?
You wanted to do it.
In 1915 and then, you know, or 12 or whatever, and then the First World War breaks out. Would you have to win that war in order to create a new world order?
I don't know what position you're in.
In other words, if there's a world war and you wanted to create a new world order, would you have to win the world war in order to create the new world order?
Back then, I'd say probably.
Probably, right?
Yes.
What about a second world war? Would you have to win that one too if you had wanted to create a world war?
Probably, yes.
All right. What about a cold war between two superpowers? Would you have to win that one in order to create a new world order?
Yes.
All right, that's fucking NATO. We're describing NATO.
Did you see NATO's going to investigate some killing on U.S. soil?
Why?
Oh, wait, no, it's the UN. Sorry, not NATO. UN is.
Why?
Because they're fucking trying to, you know, muscle up and be like the world fucking police.
Who was killed?
I'm trying to remember which killing it was, but it was a pretty high profile one in the States, and they're sending fucking investigators.
That's ridiculous. There's not that many Swiss and Irishmen in the world to fucking have an army for the UN.
But It's just another encroachment on sovereign fucking nations.
Mm-hmm. Why the hell they investing in murder?
Oh, because it's part of their new fucking the fuck is it? Racial fucking whatever, like, equality fucking for all humanity.
Well, I mean, that's
Council.
weird for the UN. UN's got different minorities than the United States, obviously. The minorities inside the United States are not reflective of minorities across the world. Like, the demographics worldwide are much different than what they are in the U.S. So, like, the largest demographic in the world would be the Sino-Chinese, right? Because they have the most people. Then the Indians, right? Or the Hindi or whatever. Yeah, I don't think you'd find Caucasians on that list. They'd be pretty low on that list.
Supposedly, India is the fastest growing economy in the world, right?
Could be. I mean, they had a long ways to go, so. But I'd rather invest in India than I would China, for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Better food.
Bollywood.
Yeah.
They like to dance.
They have
when
more,
they do something cool.
We have more common ground with them. They don't want us dead either, even though they're part of BRICS.
My nieces and nephews are trying to get me to watch this fucking movie called Balhu Bali or something like that. I watched like the first 10 minutes. I was just like, oh my God.
Why you guys
it's
watching
bad.
it? Yeah.
It's like so bad, it's going to be a cult classic.
That bad, huh?
Yeah. Bahubali.
Cult classics. They should have ended with Evil Dead, really. My personal.
I think they did.
I think they did.
I can't think of any newer ones that's a cult classic. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
There's a few.
I'm pretty sure Big Trouble was before Evil Dead, right? Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, I think so. Buckaroo Banzai is kind of a cult classic.
That was before.
Oh yeah, he's so young in that fucking movie.
Peter Weller, yeah.
And fucking what's the other guy? Jeff
Goldblum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they also had the bad guy from Highlander. He was Rawhide, the mechanic.
I don't remember, but
Perfect Tommy.
Perfect Tommy, I remember that name.
Mm-hmm. I was talking about this to somebody the other day. I was like, yeah, there's that movie's just so good. It's an amazing piece of cinema.
Cinema mastery.
I need to see Buckaroo Banzai. Yeah. Everybody needs to see Buckaroo. So what the fuck? Yeah, we were talking about India and the fucking New World Order.
Sri Lanka fallen.
Sri Lanka, man. They fucking said
they bum
fuck.
rushed.
They said fuck this shit.
They made January 6th look like a fucking
bunch of pussies.
Yeah. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
Trumpsters.
Not,
Trumpsters look like a bunch of pussies.
Not taking over the country like that. Fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's a real insurrection.
Yeah. That was a real, absolute real insurrection.
Revolution, even if you want to call it that. I mean, if the lefties did it, then they would call it a revolution.
Yeah, that's what they would call it.
That's what the news would have said.
That's what the news would have said.
There was a revolution.
I got news for people that want.
So when you think of it in those terms, you know you're fucked because supposedly the revolution's not going to be televised.
Right.
But if you're on the left,
it will be.
It will be.
Right. Now the strange thing about this is all right, so the left tends to have there's a communist element on the left, right?
Yes.
Not every lefty is a communist, but they're there.
Well, you can't say that they don't have communist, is it proclivities? Where you're just like, I wish everybody get money, or I wish everything was fine. Everybody needs to be treated,
Right, these idealisms.
The idealism is like, we just want to live in a kumbaya land.
Well, they don't want a kumbaya land. But they want that feeling, though. They don't want to say kumbaya, though. They want the feeling, no kumbaya. And the reason why I say that is because One of my favorite founding fathers is Dr. Benjamin Rush. And Dr. Benjamin Rush was the only doctor amongst the founding fathers. And he said a lot of things that I feel like the left should champion, but they won't because A, he's a founding father, and 2, he was a devout Christian. So he said that there is no liberty. This is before we had rights now. The concept didn't exist. He said there is no liberty. Liberty without responsibility is no blessing. Meaning that, like, if you get the liberty to do something, you have to get back to your community a little bit, you know, or your society, which is something that the left seems to want, right? Especially when it comes to medicine. And I don't know, maybe the only physician on the founding fathers, maybe that's the guy you should be looking to, because he also thought there would be a 2-tiered citizenship,
which there is.
He thought it would be through medical.
Oh, okay.
Like he said, if we don't make medicine available to everybody, then
it kind of is like that.
It kind of is like that. Right?
I mean, we do have the emergency room, but there's a lot of people that have medical insurance, and then there's people that don't.
Right. And he said we're going to end up with a 2-tiered citizenry. Those who have access to medical insurance and those who don't. You know, but they don't honor Benjamin Rush, or, you know, even use his arguments because he was a founding father, and the founding fathers criticized him for being too Christian often. So those two things, but even though he was preaching the same ideas, they won't champion him.
He got a bad rap.
Yeah, he was too Christian according to the other founding fathers, who may have been Satanists. You know, who the fuck knows? Yeah.
They did like their symbology.
Yeah, they did.
Their satanic symbology.
Yeah, they did. It's everywhere. So I feel like there has to be some kind of common ground. We definitely need a third party or a tri-party, but what ground are these people going to find? You know, because
well, I think Tim was talking about a study, Tim Pool, the other night on the show, and he's like, Democrats versus Republicans. He's like, when you think of like the Democrats, or there's a study where it's like their ideology is made in higher learning, in college.
Right.
Republicans, they're not. Their ideology is learned through hard work.
Right.
And friggin' being out there and doing something.
I mean, there's certain
so it's like
stereotypes.
Yeah, well, it was a stereotype, but it was also like I forget what the research was or where it came from, but it seemed legit. And he was talking about how the study found that there's just a big difference in reality as far as what you do, your responsibilities, and what you get.
Right.
You know?
I remember he was touching on that. I heard him talk about the possibility of civil war in America.
He says that every night.
And he was talking about, you know, the people that are going to win the Civil War are the people that can sustain themselves for long periods of time without the machine running, without being able to go to the supermarket, without going to the diner, without...
And that ain't the left.
That ain't the left.
Some of the left can do that.
Sure.
But it's the small fringe hippie left.
I mean, you know, I've always been Catholic, whatever. I'm not like the most vocal Christian in the world or whatever. Like most people know me, don't even know I'm Christian, you know. But when I was a Democrat, you know, in 2008 or prior or whatever, I was pretty much alone. There was no blue dog Democrats, is what they were called at one time. They were Christian Democrats. And there's neo blue dogs, which are Democrats who live, well, they just live in the North. Is the only difference.
Is Nancy Pelosi a neo blue dog, or is she a blue dog?
She's from San Francisco, so.
Yeah, well, she still claims to be Christian and fucking.
She does claim, so she might be, well, maybe she would be a neo blue dog because she's not in the South. But her family's from Maryland. Maryland's the Catholic state for you that don't know.
Maybe she's Catholic then.
I mean, you could say like, you know, Massachusetts, New York have a lot of Catholics, but in its inception.
Maybe she is Catholic. I forget, but I just heard it in the news the other day. There was like some priest trying to hold.
She's Catholic.
Yeah.
So is Joe Biden. But in its inception, Maryland was, you know, named after Queen Mary of the Scots, and it was a colony for the Catholics because the Catholics were fleeing British persecution of Catholics.
So, anyways, the Blue Dogs didn't have your back then.
No, and now like I see like, you know, on the right there's people who are fucking nuts when it comes to like Christianity or whatever, and then there's people that just do realize that spirituality matters, you know, and I don't see any of that from the left. You know, sometimes the right goes too far.
No. Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
I don't see any spiritual reference on the left or any kind of.
All I see on the left is like hatred for religion. It's like it's been somehow, and I've been, I'm a fucking atheist my whole life, or agnostic. I don't know what the fuck any of these terms are. All I know is I brought up not to believe in shit.
Right.
And as I get older, I'm like, oh, it seems like there is something. Who knows what it is? I know there's something. It seems that I would say for me, I feel there's something. What it is, fuck if I know.
But it's something.
But there's something. But what I've seen over the years is that, especially the last, like the Trump years, people rabidly hating religion, like getting pumped through the mind virus on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's like the memes are like, oh, the fucking religion is ruining the world. And it's like they get fucking frothing at the mouth, fucking, and it's like, why all of a sudden do you think this way? All of a sudden. It's like, it's not your thoughts. Those aren't your thoughts.
And just so we're clear, historically speaking, religion lost its power during an age of enlightenment.
Well, yeah, they'll go back to the facts like most of the killing on Earth has been due to religion. You know, that's like their big talking point. Like all the battles or wars on Earth have been due to religion.
Well, that's not true, but I mean, there's some truth to it.
I mean, yeah, there's some, but at the same point, I've been across the country a bunch, you know, doing things that get me into people's homes and live around them for a while, and the people that have religion in their life in some way, usually if they're not, like you said, the wackos going too far, are the nicer people.
Right. When I've traveled the country, those are the people that help me.
Mm-hmm.
There's that $5.
They're just nice people.
Yeah, they there's nothing wrong with thinking that somebody is watching you and preventing you from doing bad things when no one else is looking.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. I think that somebody's watching me, making sure I don't do bad things, or at least taking note of it, bearing witness to it when nobody else can.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta use the bathroom.
And with that,
you're on your own.
I'm on my own. All right. We're having a real low energy show here today, Barnes. For me, anyways, I feel like I'm fucking shot. I guess I probably shouldn't have went to work all morning, huh? I'm gonna have to start getting my beauty sleep before the show. Okay, let's see if we got any news here that's interesting. While Barney goes to use the head. I saw there was a San Francisco International Airport had a bomb scare. They are now reopened. It evacuated a terminal on late Friday following the bomb threat. What else was there? There was a lot of people quitting the where is it? The CDC, NIH, health experts, and there was another health agency, but they're quitting due to the children being given the go-ahead to vax kids. So there's been a lot of people quitting the CDC, the NIH, the FDA, leaving their positions in the federal government over the recent approval of COVID shots for infants and boosters for kids. And I salute those people that did and are doing so, because they know the science is bad. And
yeah, but what about the political science?
It says an article published Thursday by Johns Hopkins professor Marty Makary I probably shouldn't even talk about this because YouTube's gonna fucking turn us off.
What?
I mean, if you read the news, you can't read the news anymore.
No, you can't.
The
The algo.
algo is gonna say, "Oh, you guys are reporting
You,
stuff that's not true according to us."
you can't talk about childish.
I heard a good one.
Abusement. Childish abusement.
There, you can't even if you're on YouTube and you have firearms, you cannot use firearms in a YouTube live stream unless you are on a actual firing range. They'll shut you down.
Really?
Yeah. And if you
What if you just own property?
if you're at your own house, you can display it, but you can't brandish it. You can't like pick it up.
Weird.
Yeah, isn't that fucking weird?
Doesn't seem very American to me.
No, YouTube's definitely not American anymore.
And I'm not like a gun hole person, But
yeah.
well, that's what I wanted to get back to. About the left and the missing of spirituality. The Constitution in itself is a quasi holy text or whatever, because it's got those Bill of Rights, right?
I mean, I hear you. Yeah.
And they don't. It seems like the left doesn't understand. Like, no, you're a person. You can't take this away from me. That's the way it was written. Because you're a person. You can't take that away.
It's kind of the perfect way to get people to hate the Constitution. First, get them to hate religion, and then be like, and they think the friggin' Constitution's like a religious text. These fucks.
It is a quasi.
So it makes people upset, makes them think, oh, yeah, why can't we touch that? Why can't we fucking shit on it?
I mean, it's the same defense, like, the Magna Carta, which basically said, the ruler, if that's chosen by God, the king, has to abide by the rules.
Right.
And so...
and now nobody's abiding anymore.
No. It's fucking...
Biden ain't abiding.
Biden ain't abiding. You're sliding Biden.
Biden ain't a Biden. You heard it here first.
It's like we're just Biden.
He is not the dude.
No. He is so lost.
The dude abides.
The dude does abide.
The other thing I used to say is like psychiatry was the new Bible. Or what the fuck? Or no, laws of the land. What the fuck was it? I had like an analogy where I was like, this is the new Bible. It might have been fucking the U.S. code law fucking. No, I'm pretty sure I was like psychiatry. I don't know. So long ago, I forgot.
I mean, psychology and sociology at times by the Catholic Church was considered a cult. So.
Well, that's what I mean. Like in the American way of thought, like laws are formed by these rules, by who's crazy and who's not. And the psychiatrists were the ones making those rules. So it was kind of like a Bible in a way. It's like, thou shalt not fucking shit in thy hand and throw it at someone.
Because if you do, you're going to get on medication. No, it makes sense. Yeah.
So, yeah. It's a quasi kind of new religion.
Right.
Psychiatrics.
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole society's gone that way, and I guess, I think psychiatrics has played a big role in that. They certainly haven't helped the insane.
No, actually, they've been they've been fucking pumping the brakes on diagnosing people because they don't want to upset anyone. They don't want to trigger anyone. They've actually come up with a shit ton more rules, like the microaggressions and all these other stupid fucking words that they've come or tools to get people to argue with one another.
Oh yeah.
And that was funny. I was talking to my friend Hoagie, whose birthday it was just a few days ago. And I showed him, he'd already seen it. It was a video of these two people arguing in like Portland at a car incident. And the one dude's like, the woman's yelling at him like, how dare you drive like that? We're here. We're all nice people, and we freaking make room for each other, you know. And she's like getting fucking totally heated, just saying how nice she is. And he's like, "Fuck you, colonizer," because he was like a kid of color or something like that. He's like, "Why don't you get your colonizing thoughts out of my life?"
Oh my God.
And I was like, Hoagie, it's like they're having a fucking psychiatric fucking duel out there in the middle of the street.
I never colonized anything, just so we're clear.
Oh, so good though. It's so good.
My people were colonized to a lesser extent. I mean,
My people.
Well, the Irish were colonized by the British, right?
Hasn't everybody been? Come on.
And the Germans.
Who hasn't been colonized?
By the Germans.
Let's try and think of someone who hasn't been colonized. I guess China.
No, China's never been colonized. Parts of it.
Parts of it
were.
Mm-hmm.
Japan, technically. I mean, they lost World War II. That's what happened.
They didn't get colonized, but they got
occupied.
They got occupied.
Most of the Asian world didn't get colonized, right?
I don't know. Wasn't like Germany fucking the main shit stain until England?
No, Germany didn't exist.
Well, they were called something else.
There were like 200 different little
tribes.
They were the Holy Roman Empire. And most places were ruled by somebody not in the Holy Roman Empire. And there was 200 little states, except for Austria, which was the biggest state inside the Holy Roman Empire. It's
well, I'm just thinking like kind of before that before there were states and all that shit, there was just fucking people warring with each other.
They were warring with each other, yeah. Up until Frederick the Great, right? And he unites Prussia, which becomes modern day Germany as we know it for the most part. But Italy and Germany are relatively new concepts as nations. They're like 150 years old, maybe at max.
Right. Well, I'm probably thinking of the wrong word then. Not Germany, but their ancestors.
The Teutonics, Norse or whatever. Yeah, they colonized. The Norse did. Greenland, Iceland, technically, even though the Uralics took that over.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Uralics in Finland too.
Yeah, it was Germanic peoples of Central Europe.
Peoples, yeah. They colonized the shit and stuff. Anglos. I mean, the Angles are German today. I think that's where Hamburg is. But they went to England and changed the name. Like they went to England. They went so many of them to England, they changed to Anglo-land. It used to be some Roman name, right? What the hell was it? It wasn't Britannia, was it? Maybe it was.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Well, any other news? We got any other news, man? Liz Cheney,
Queen
getting funded by Democratic donors. How about that?
Why on earth are we supporting? That's what I hate, political dynasties, man. In my lifetime, Dick Cheney was Satan.
He's a scumbag.
He was the worst politician we've ever had, as far as like
he's still a scumbag,
just being fucking evil, right? And even Bush Jr. or Senior was less than him, you know. Like
Bush Jr. was one of the dumbest motherfuckers in the office.
Yeah, but
he was just a puppet.
Yeah,
that's why fucking Epstein had a picture of him sitting in there like a dumbass little kid on the ground playing with fucking blocks. Yeah,
they looked like the Twin Towers. Yeah,
yep,
and paper airplanes. Yeah, he was just dumb. You know, he had the family name again. Political dynasties. What the fuck are we doing?
But he gave Michelle candy. He gave Michelle Obama candy. Isn't that sweet?
He gave her candy.
Aw. George Bush is so cute now.
He's cute now. He's like
George Bush is so cute now. He gave Michelle candy.
He's like a feeble man painting pictures, getting high.
Fucking people are so easily persuaded.
Oh yeah.
He gave her a candy.
Big fucking deal.
It's so sweet.
That just proves to me they're on the same side of scumbags.
Fucking scumbaggery.
Obama bailed out the fucking banks.
Yeah.
I keep pushing that to people. Like, he took
your money.
Took
our
your money and gave it to the richest organizations in the country.
Yeah. Does that compute? Does that compute?
Makes no fucking sense. It's
How about
straight up fascism.
Let's do a reboot to compute.
Holy fuck. You know, one of my friends on Facebook here who runs for local politics up in Greene County.
All right.
She had posted something on Facebook there about us giving the Buffalo Bills millions of dollars to New York State is giving Buffalo Bills
so they can build a stadium.
So they can
Some
build a
dumb
stadium.
shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they have a stadium now. You know,
Works great.
Yeah.
I watched them in the last year. They were playing in it. It seemed pretty good. I didn't go to it, but I saw it on the TV.
Yeah, I saw on the TV, right? And for you that don't know, like, Buffalo Stadium isn't in Buffalo. It's outside of Buffalo. It's a little bit southeast of Buffalo. It's in more of a suburban area, like a development. It's kind of out of place in that neighborhood. It's next to a community college, I think. Anyway,
they want a new one.
They got a new one, and she was asking why is this happening? And so I quoted Giovanni Gentile, and you guys don't know, he's the guy that came up with fascism. Giovanni Gentile grew up in a broken Italy that was forming a national identity. And as we know, Italy has a lot of strong regional identities. You know, we still hear about them today. Sicilian, Tuscany, Milanese, Roman, yada, yada, yada. Florentine, whatever. And Giovanni Gentile said that the government should form a symbiotic relationship with private enterprise for mutual benefit. And so I wrote, the government, New York State, should form a symbiotic relationship, $800 whatever billion we're giving them, with private enterprise, the Buffalo Bills, in quotations, you know. So I'm trying to wake people up because this shit's happening rampant in New York. Like,
it's I mean, the middle class is being totally destroyed in front of everyone's eyes. Nobody wants to fucking pay attention.
Nobody wants to pay attention. It's particularly happening in states like here, you know, where California, right? Places that, you know,
Democratic run.
They are Democratic run. You know, they were states that had industry and tourism, and
that's it.
Well, yeah, they're known for their cultural attractions, right? People come to New York for become an actor or musicians or whatever. They try to make it in New York because if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Which was something I didn't realize, like, when I first started a band up here.
You can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
You know, one of the promoters was like, you know, you guys are in, you know, basically the greater metropolitan area. He's like, there's not much of a local scene.
There ain't shit scene.
Right. So, like, you're instantly thrust into, like, competing with these national or international acts that are playing down the street or the next town over.
You need a college town, bud. Couple of them.
But
you're not in a good spot.
Not here to start a music scene per se, right? Because there's too much outside influence, you know. Actually, this area is one of the worst areas for anything like that to be isolated because, you know, they do corporations do test products in places. They pick certain areas.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they're looking for is that those people stay in that area.
Okay.
Right? They don't want people traveling all over to other areas to test a product in because then it's going to get to the other areas, right? And the Hudson Valley is one of the worst because people work in Connecticut, they work in Massachusetts, they work in the city, they work in Albany, they work in New Jersey, they work in Pennsylvania.
So it's not a good testing ground.
No, because too many people are coming and going.
Too much word of mouth. You would get
too much coming
bleeding.
and going. Too much coming and going.
Yeah, it would. Your product would bleed
right to other areas.
Mm-hmm.
Comparison to Albany, which is, you know, like, I guess, like the 6th best product testing place in
weird
the country. Yeah, I've looked this up before. Albany's got a few weird things. It's the only town in New York that's continuously had a bigger population every census since the conception. Now, there was a time where Albany was the 10th biggest town in the country. I'm not even sure if it's the 10th biggest city now, but in the state. But
Yeah.
but it's always gained more people every census.
Well, Buffalo is going to get a new stadium.
Yeah, they need some
Awesome.
Some new residents would be nice.
Fucking awesome.
I think Buffalo was like about 1 million people when we were young. Now it's like 250,000.
Really?
Yeah, people fled. Yeah, everybody went south. Florida.
People got soft. They hate the cold.
Yeah, people are getting soft. You know.
So when are you going to go down south?
I don't know.
Not soft yet.
The only thing that's getting to me is allergies. It makes me want to move to the desert.
You want to go to the desert, huh?
Well, I wouldn't have allergies there as much. There's less pollen in the air.
Yeah.
Less plants.
More poisonous stuff, though.
More snakes and salamanders.
Scorpions.
Those lizards.
Fucking lizards.
What are they, Gila monsters? What the hell are those things?
Gila monster?
Gila monsters, right?
The lizard king.
Fucking lizards that kill you. That's it. The better the weather is, the easier it is for poisonous things to live there too. And the more stuff that goes there, the more predators are going to be there that have poison. I don't know. Speaking of poisonous animals, I watched a mantis take down this poisonous cobra the other day. Like,
what, a mantis and a cobra?
Yeah.
That would have been a big mantis, bro.
I guess so. Yeah, a little cobra, but still. Not a king cobra either. Was it the king?
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy animals out there. I'm trying to get my nephew to think of a spirit animal for his wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
What would be a good wrestling animal?
Honey badger.
Yeah, I guess that's. I didn't want to say that, but I guess that's because his dad's already like used a honey badger. I think they had a team, a hockey team, men's team called the Honey Badgers.
Wolverines, catfishers, even weasels.
Yeah. Because I was like, yeah, for the big dudes, it's probably like more of a bear or something like that. For fucking little guys, it's a fucking mongoose or something like that.
Right.
But for the middle of the road, the 45ers and shit, yeah, fucking honey badger would be perfect.
Badger.
Just fucking ripped, strong as steel, fucking psycho.
Yeah. Honey badger don't fuck around.
Just reaching into a hole.
Yeah. They're fucking nuts. Like I've seen videos of like minks fighting snakes, and I'm like,
yeah, they're pretty nasty too.
These things are fucking fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow. Like the snake is striking, they're just like, yeah, right. You're so slow. Damn.
What up? Missed again, motherfucker.
Yeah, the Animal Kingdom is wild. Now, here's something I remember. I just looked into it again. There's extinct species re-evolving.
Re-evolving?
Re-evolving.
How the fuck's that work?
The DNA plan's in there somewhere, and at some point, whatever environment they're in, the niche meets, and it's happening with birds where extinct birds have re-evolved from other birds.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
I was just watching a UFO guy talk about that shit. He was like, if you want to put something on Earth that'll last 100,000 years or 1,000,000 years, what would you do? The guy's like, I don't know. I'd probably find the strongest metal or whatever and put it in space or something like that. He's like, yeah, that's true. That's good. But, you're thinking like materials once again, rocks and stones like the pyramids or whatever. He's like, it would probably most likely be something like DNA, a living fucking thing.
Right. That's going to replicate itself.
Mm-hmm. I was like, that's pretty interesting.
That is pretty interesting.
Yeah, because if you were going to put a marker in there or something, once people can decipher it, they can see it for what it is, like whatever message you're trying to encode. Which is kind of interesting because it was just not even a month ago or a couple months ago they finally finished the fucking Human Genome Project. They mapped out every fucking bit of DNA in the human code.
That's amazing.
What they're gonna do with it? Make a lot of money.
Yeah, they're gonna make a lot of money. They're gonna make people. They're gonna engineer people.
I was telling my little nephew the other day. I'm like, hey brother, the future's fucking the CRISPR technology and gene slicing. I mean, I was talking to my one cousin who's actually doing that stuff. He was telling me some tripped out shit. But overall, I mean, that's going to be the new hack. Fuck computers.
Yeah.
Humans.
Hack humans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that one guy was saying that they're codable, right?
Well, that scumbag from fucking the World Economic Forum, he's like, humanity is hackable. So there's no more free will or something.
Right.
I forget what the fuck he said, but it was similar to that, where he's like, humans don't have a choice anymore. They're hackable.
Yeah, the scumbag.
Fuck.
And then he was saying, comparing that they can play God.
Well, what my
Stop
cousin
doing
that does this stuff was telling me, they've already hacked like mice brains where they can drive them around like cars with impulses.
Wow.
So it's just like you're sitting there with a little camera and a controller. You press forward and the fucking mouse will go forward. Press left, he turns left. Turn right. It's just like driving a remote control car. That's fucking seriously fucked.
That is seriously fucked.
Not good.
No, that's not good.
Because they could do it to you then if they could
yeah.
do it to a fucking mouse.
If they could do it to a mouse, they could do it to me. It's there. They always like try to pretend like nobody's doing the science experiments on humans.
Yeah, bullshit. China's doing it.
So there's
China.
somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. There's a boat somewhere.
Yeah, international waters.
Yeah.
There's a huge fucking island.
Something.
Whatever.
It's happening. I mean, I've seen Bond movies. I know what's going on.
I mean, the chimeras fucking and also like Alex Jones is so right about so many fucking things. He like got Tim Pool with the cloned beef. He's like, "You're eating cloned beef." Tim's like, "No, Alex, shut up." He's like, "Look it up. Look it up." And they've been cloning beef for like the past 10 years and selling it fucking in supermarkets.
I didn't know that. I love beef.
You're eating cloned beef, brother.
Shit, man. Clones?
Mm-hmm.
And
they looked it up on the show with Tim, and he's like, "Oh my god!" It's like, once again, Alex is right.
God damn.
But with the human chimeras and stuff like that, you know, he's been reporting on that for like 20 years, and it's like really finally now just coming out. Like they're like gotten to the point where it's like, well, there ain't no stopping it, so let's just tell everybody. Yeah, we're making fucking human fucking DNA with fucking other animals.
That's crazy, man. That's like what Phil Schneider was talking about. I don't know if you know who he is. So Phil Schneider is one of these UFO guys. He gave a series of lectures in the 90s. He didn't get a chance to give that many before he was killed. So Phil Schneider was allegedly a geologist who specialized in drilling and creating underground structures.
Okay.
And he claimed that he was hired by the Department of Defense to build a deep underground military base, otherwise known as a DUM. And the first one he talked about was, I think, Cheyenne Mountain, right, in Colorado.
Yep.
Which, if you were, into that stuff, you could have known that they had facilities underneath there. So that wasn't. But he also talked about, he was the guy that started the Dulce base or whatever. Rumors about Dulce base underneath a mountain on a mountain in between New Mexico and Colorado. I forget what it's called. It's like some kind of plateau. Mesa plateau. Anyway.
I think I've heard about that. People have.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
rumors about it. Under a mountain.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And in his thing, he talks about adrenochrome, that they're, harvesting adrenochrome. It's the first time I ever heard about adrenochrome. I didn't know what it was, really. He said it was like a spice to them. They kind of get high off of it.
The spice.
Yeah, and he said that that he was helping the government build these deep underground military bases, that they were building highways in between them, and that there was a subterranean species of humanoids living under there that were like aliens and or grays, you know, kind of. And he claims that he was then in an elevator with a bunch of people, and when they got to the bottom of the elevator, there was grays there, and there was a fight, and that he was hit by some kind of ray that melted off his fingers. He's missing fingers, and he's got a big wound on his chest. But he claimed that he pulled out his sidearm and shot one, and that you know, a bunch of people died, and Marines saved him getting out of there. So
that's a fucking weird fight.
Weird fight. He made a lot of claims.
I got shot with a laser gun, and then fucked that little gray up with my 45.
I think he had a Walter PK on him. I can't remember, but yeah. So
he had a Bond gun.
I think so, or maybe he had a Luger. I can't fucking remember. I just remember thinking like, oh, that's an old gun. The point is that he made a bunch of claims that later on about like human hybridizations that later have gained
Traction.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, particularly the deep underground military bases, which we now know that the government has those.
Supposedly, too, there's like Walmart truckers, and I mean, this is a story I looked up a while back, but yeah, they say there's fucking tunnels that drive you halfway across the country.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's the claim. I've even seen people go into them
with some of the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at the entrances, and they got fucking checkpoints. You only can get in.
Yeah,
fucking if you have proper clearance.
I've seen some videos about that. I don't know how true they are or how far those really go.
Yeah.
Makes sense though. I mean, it's only the next evolution of like a bunker, right? I mean,
I'm sure it's just called good planning. You could get fucked up any second. It's good to have a fucking...
Okay.
What's that?
Pat.
From Cali?
Yeah.
Ooh. How's he doing? Why isn't he watching, Pat? What the? Oh, you can't have him watch this. He'll hate you, right?
Yeah, he'll go on and on about.
He'll call you and hate your guts.
I don't even know what it... I think Pat is just like a communist or something. But he doesn't have like any...
Maybe he is watching.
Plan?
I was telling that to... Who was I telling that to? Like, when people ask about the show, I don't even bother telling them what it's about. I'm like, yeah, we just talk some bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, half the people I'd ask if you told them to watch it, you know, they turn it off in a second because they don't like hearing fucking things that are going against their worldview.
Right. I don't mind it because it's challenging. You know, it can be challenging. Gotta.
I mean, if you got a problem
your own position
saying Biden fucking inflation sucks,
I'll buy
well, then you're fucking stupid. Not like, oh, well, he's doing the best he can. You know, don't. What the fuck are you trying to protect him for? Or like make excuses for him?
Right, they've been making excuses for him.
It's like he's doing a shitty job. Just, you can say it. It's okay.
It's like all this Putin shit. Blame everything on Putin. Stub my toe, it's Putin's
They've been
fault.
blaming shit on Putin since fucking Trump got elected. It's like, can we stop doing this?
Really? Like, start taking responsibility for ourselves. Like, we're in control of our own actions. We could start doing actions that are conducive to our success rather than some global plan. And by the way, those that want global government, you're going to lose all your shit. There's a lot of poor people out there. We happen to be in one of the richer nations.
Well, that's once again is the ignorance. I mean, we don't want. Yeah, the world could use a good fucking change in how it works. But if you think for a second the people that want the change right now are going to try and make fucking a happier, peaceful fucking earth, you're wrong. The people that want globalization, they could give a shit less about the people in Africa.
No, they want less people. You know?
They want less people. The only people in Africa they care about are the one with that big stash of gold.
That's it. You know, places where Russia has bases now. You know, Port-au-Prince, Russia's building a base.
You just can't be that naive to be like, oh yeah, if we had one world government, things would be better.
How do you even enforce that?
China don't give a shit about what you think.
They don't care about what their own people think.
No, do you see the friggin' what they've been doing to them? They've been giving them friggin' tracking watches now, like wristbands to track if you've been friggin' traveling. It's like you have to wear this and it's a temperature and fucking tracker.
Really?
Yeah. So it's basically they're starting to tag people.
Wow. They're like one step off from tagging people.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking nuts. It's coming.
I just don't understand.
To a DMV near
when
you.
you say social credit score to someone and they don't get it,
it's the worst thing ever.
But they go, but it's so convenient.
I
don't have to do anything. All my bills are paid for when I wake up in the morning. I just have to go to work for 5 hours or whatever, 8 hours a day, drink my latte, come home. Everything's great. It's like, oh, yeah, until you fucking say you don't like it.
Right, and then they'll take it all away. There's nothing you can do about it because it was untangible to begin
You like
with.
being a fucking sheep.
I mean, that's where I'm really, crossed at things because I don't like. I'm weary of digital currency. Anything that could be turned off by a click of a button,
Mm-hmm.
or a power outage or an accidental deletion.
Yeah.
At the same time, those electric currencies like Bitcoin or whatever are challenging the Fed.
That's a lot of people believe that's why we're having our economic collapses because they don't like other people getting rich.
Right.
So they have to fucking drain the money supply, bring all that currency back down to fucking nothing. So then they can be like, oh, well, let us come in and help regulate it so it works better.
Well, it could very well could be. There's a lot of things happening with currency right now. It's a very exciting time if you're into that. I'm not really into it, but I know people that are. Well, you got the BRICS, right?
Yep.
And they're offering an alternative to the
euro.
Yeah. Well, no, to IMF, the debt system. That
BRICS is a debt system.
It's a non-debt system.
Mm.
They're backing. Some of the countries are starting to back their stuff by gold. So that should be interesting. I mean, if you have rubles, you could trade them in for gold right now. Not here.
That's great.
But in Russia.
I needed coffee before this show.
Don't bring any hash oil with you if you go to change your rubles in though. It's illegal there.
I heard LeBron is fucking shooting his mouth off again. Like, if I was that girl, I would think twice about coming back to America. LeBron, just leave, please. Leave. Go somewhere else.
Why should she think twice about coming back to America?
I don't fucking know. I gotta go look at this story.
Doesn't
but
she want to
supposedly
come back
that was his quote.
She wants to come back, right?
Well, she's begging fucking Biden, to get her goddamn out of there. And Biden wasn't taking her call.
Well, why would he? She's just a fucking basketball player.
I know. These people are just fucked in the head. It's like defund the police, but they're going to call the police as soon as fucking some bad shit happens to them.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, Neil Young saying he's going to leave Spotify. It's either him or Joe Rogan. And
I already saw people defending that. They're like, oh, well, he doesn't own those songs, so it's not really him going back on. It's like, well, that's the motherfucker that said he's leaving.
Right. He said he's
leaving.
leaving.
He still don't own his shit. Then why did he even put out a fucking statement saying he's leaving?
That's the thing. Like, because he didn't have that power to begin with. That's something that fucking boggled my mind. There's a lot of that going on around in our society today. Like the January 6th thing. Why would Trump hand over power, tell them to begin to hand over power, then try to incite an insurrection? Like, that was going to last? Like, those people were going to stay in the Capitol and start running the government or something?
Why would he beat the shit out of a Secret Service member, grab the wheel, and say, I am the president?
That was awesome. I can't wait to see that. I want to see that footage.
Take me to the Capitol. I am the president. Ooh. Grab the wheel, start driving the SUV.
Yeah, one-handed, right? Kicking the Secret Service guy. Highly trained.
Fucking
lethal force.
Fuck.
Oh, God. That shit just... I don't understand, man. That shit's just... A lot of that shit is just...
It irks me that people fucking...
Mass psychosis.
Yeah, mass psychosis. There's still people that... I just fuck, man. There's people I see on Facebook, which I barely do the Facebook, but when I go on, I just see like people still losing their mind over the guy.
Yeah, they're still losing their fucking mind over the guy. We don't know if he's gonna run in 24.
It's looking like it's a pretty sure thing, but still, the point being, they'll post stuff that has nothing to do with politics at all. Just it's got to be about him and like how much of a scumbag he is.
It's about Trump, and then they try to justify why they're just assholes.
They were completely brain fucked by.
I mean, the number
social media
flip flops is unbelievable, and it's not just them. The Republicans flip flop too. The vaccines is perfect. There was people who were like,
both sides flip flop.
Yeah. Kamala Harris, I'm not taking the Trump vaccine. Where the fuck she said something of that like, and now she's out there pushing the vaccine. It's so fucking weird. And she's a shit show too. Like, really?
Oh my God.
Talk about a fucking.
Her own father kind of like disowned her. It was like when she's like, I smoke weed. She's trying to be cool. On some interview, or her dad was like, I didn't raise a person to be like that. Right. I didn't raise her to be like that.
Right. He might have found out about it the first time. At least I was open about it. But, another thing about that interview with her where she was talking to, I think it was Charlemagne
the God,
right?
Yeah.
She's saying that, what did you listen to? And she would, she's naming shit that's not even out to the 90s, saying that she was doing it in college.
Yeah. Yep.
In the 80s.
She's just lying.
She's just lying, straight up.
Just like when she attacked Joe Biden during the primaries, fucking dragging him down, calling him a racist, more or less, and fucking misogynist. And then she goes on the Stephen Colbert show, and Colbert's like, now you said this about Joe Biden during your primaries with him. Well, why did you say that? She's like, it was a campaign. That's what you do.
Yeah, she just totally blew it off.
Like, it's okay to lie.
It's
if
okay
you're
to
campaigning.
lie. Exactly. Like, what the fuck was that about?
And half the people I talk to, then they don't pay attention to shit, so they don't see any of this stuff.
No, they don't look into anything. They
No.
just accept it at face value.
What they're being told that day.
Right. And I mean, it gets annoying because I used to be a stickler about it, and I would have to say like allegedly before everything, and then I kind of stopped doing that.
You still say allegedly quite a bit, which is good. It's fine.
Because I don't really know. I wasn't there.
It's like allegedly there was a Big Bang.
Allegedly. That's just a theory, though.
Allegedly.
When I first learned about the
Big
Big
Bang. It took 7
Bang.
days to create the whole universe.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. Science is done by scientists.
Allegedly. I had a problem with the Big Bang Theory when I first heard about it.
Me too.
I thought what I didn't like about it is that the Big Bang said that there was this really super dense material and then it expanded, basically, right? It got too dense for its own good.
Yeah, and there was nothing there before. What the fuck's that even mean?
Right. And I was wondering, well, what if there just was stuff and it was everywhere, and then, like if you had a huge puddle of gas and you threw a match into the middle of it, it would burn out, create space, leave some material behind, planets. I was like, what if it was like that? What if it was like a big suck rather than a big bang? Like, what if there was just infinite dense mass forever outside of the universe?
And something burned off.
Yeah, something burned off.
And made a bunch of space.
Yeah, something burnt it or some
There's
reaction.
so many different fucking ways it could have happened. It's stupid. There's like, what was before the Big Bang?
The bigger bang.
Fucking,
Just keeps going.
could have been something.
I
right?
think those are along the lines of questions that we'll never have the answers to.
And I don't really, I mean, at one time I probably, as a younger man, thought like, I could figure it out. Or,
Yeah.
You'd be like, if I take enough fucking mushrooms,
Sit there
I'll
and
be
think
able to
about
see.
it. I think about
I
it
can figure it out.
If I think about this for 2 months, bye.
I could flag them aliens down.
Yeah. Me and Stump used to talk about that all the time. Rest in peace, Stumper.
Yeah, I remember we used to talk about going out and making the light kit and the fucking barbecue and just chill out, drinking beers, and wait for them.
Wait for him. Yeah.
Bring them down.
Bring him down. Bring the rocket launcher.
That was the plan. Yeah, I remember talking to Stumper about that too. All right, we got to wrap this up. Got
I guess
shit
that's
to
it.
do.
Yeah.
Who's towing the line this week, Mr. Barnicott?
Who's towing the line?
Who's towing the line?
I'm gonna say, Albany. Kathy Hochul in Albany with this fucking Buffalo Bills deal. Like, what? You're gonna justify this shit?
Oh man,
Or
I'm gonna have to say like CNN and fucking all them dipshits still trying to fucking convince people that Joe Biden is not fucking totally losing his mind.
yeah, he's totally lost, dude. I don't know how. I didn't really know Mary. I knew a couple, but I remember writing on, when Joe Biden won the primary, I remember writing congratulations to the Biden supporter, and only one person answered that they were actually a Biden supporter.
You're still not going to convince me that fucking he got as many votes. He's supposed to be got the most votes of all time.
All time.
Stupid. And now he's like the lowest president of all time. It's like that doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. The numbers don't work.
They don't work. People.
It's not even
politically
two
don't change
years
that fast.
fucking in.
I know, exactly. They don't politically change that fast.
No.
So that was a scam.
All right. So what can't we say this week? Don't say. Don't say.
Don't say that Thomas Jefferson recommended the Giraldi repeating rifle to Lewis and Clark on their expedition. That it was built before the United States Constitution was ever ratified. That there's been repeating rifles that long.
Okay.
It's an air rifle, but they're making the air rifle stronger and stronger since this firearms push thing is going out.
These fucking people.
And rail guns are going to start coming out soon.
Yeah, they already are producing them. I've seen a couple online.
I mean, I think I could make one, but a little.
You could.
Enough
with the batteries they got now, enough mushrooms.
Enough mushrooms. I can make a rail gun.
We make our own spaceship with enough mushrooms. Oh man, and don't say tone the line. And what must we forget?
Oh, okay, we gotta forget this time. Holy fuck! There's so much out there we're supposed to forget.
We're supposed to forget that fucking there's legal immigration.
Yeah, we're supposed to forget that. Don't look at the legal immigration. There's only illegal.
I heard Texas fucking finally said we're sending troops down.
Did they?
Yep.
The National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them. I'm sure Arizona will follow suit.
Yep, I think Arizona will follow suit soon.
Eventually, New Mexico, maybe California,
but for real, it's like getting so bad. Texas was finally like, "Yo, fuck this. We got to do something. The feds aren't going to do shit."
No, they're not. And it's really.
I mean, remember when they sent Kamala down there?
Yeah,
like she was going to do something.
She didn't even go to the wall. She didn't even go there.
Oh my God! Remember the kids in cages? Everybody was so pissed about.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
still there.
They're still there.
The kids are in the cage.
The cage is that Obama built.
You fucking hypocrites.
Shit like that is, these people act like there's some kind of side, and there's no sides.
I know.
What the fuck are we doing? Like, why even tell people to come here? Like, why did they do that? Why did the Biden administration tell people to come here?
And then what was it like last year? They had Kamala come out with, "Don't come."
Yeah,
don't come.
It's like why you're killing people.
But they did that all during the election run up. Like that was Biden's doing. It'd be like, we need people. Come on in. Blah blah blah. It's he wasn't saying it so much as he was like fucking basically insinuating that we're America. We take all.
Right. That's what he was trying to say.
He wasn't being like, come on through, folks. But they were using it against Trump at the time, being like, he's got kids in cages. He's a Nazi. He's fucking a piece of shit. You look what he's doing to these immigrants.
I mean, that's like when Trump has a weird way of talking. He was talking about they're bringing murderers, they're bringing rapists. And then people are like, no, it's not true. Blah, blah, blah. How do you know it's not true? Those people aren't checking in. If you're on the run for a felony in your home country, you try to lose your fucking identity and you get away from the government that's trying to pursue you.
You're right. He has a very
You have to think about it for a second. I was like, all right, well, if I was a murderer, rapist, or whatever, wanted for a felony in fucking Mexico, I would probably try to get to the United States too illegally too. I couldn't take a bus or a train because you got to show your ID.
I just don't understand people who think like there should be no form of like punishment for trying to illegally come into the country.
I mean,
it's every other country does it.
Yeah, every single one.
Every fucking other country.
If you want the UN to recognize you as a sovereign state, you have to have a clearly marked border that is controlled to some extent.
Well, maybe that's why they're doing it, because they want to get us unrecognized by the UN.
That's the only thing I could think of. Now, the crazy part about it is Canada's a little bit more lenient than we are as far as letting people in. They can fly to Canada, right? Or whatever. And if you come through Canada, there's sign-in spots still out Midwest or whatever. Like there's still places between the Canadian border and Alaska where you just walk through, sign something,
sign a piece of paper, and we'll go. Yeah. It's just a fucking stick with a pad on top.
Yeah.
High security, folks.
Jesus Christ. And that's the longest mutual border in the world, I believe. The border between U.S. and Canada.
So, okay. We got to forget there's legal immigration. Anything else we must forget this week?
You're not supposed to dox federal fucking employees and harass them because you don't like their policies.
Well, we got to forget that because it happened to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Now, she was being sexually harassed on the steps.
We can remember that again?
We can remember it now.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because it happened to her.
It happened to her. We got to forget that she said fucking the doors have to be opened by the police.
Yeah, we got to forget that. Yeah, there's a big one for all you insurrectionist conspiracy theorists.
The automated doors had to be opened.
The doors were fucking opened. The people were let in.
Let in. Because that's how she gets in.
That kind of puts a hole in their whole fucking circus on CNN, MSNBC.
So does Trump telling the military to prepare for Biden's administration in November.
And so does like his tweet and message to telling everybody to please go home.
Yeah, and peacefully and
it was just so much.
Peacefully and patriotically protest or let your voices heard, he said.
Yeah.
Peacefully and patriotically let your voices heard.
They're fucking shot. Liz Cheney's just doing the work for her dad.
Man. Oh, absolutely.
That's all.
Dude,
they're just still trying to fucking hold on to the country with the death grip.
That is the shit that bothers the fucking out of this whole fucking January 6th thing. The thing that boggles me the most is the people that hate fucking Dick Cheney,
like Liz Cheney.
What? It's the same fucking agenda. If you didn't realize,
it's just they think you're stupid. And,
that's it.
And you are.
And I hope Wyoming gets her out of there. I hope Wyoming says, "Get the fuck out of here."
I hope so too. I mean, it's so bad that they're going to the Democrats to get fundraising because she's not getting any fundraising from fucking Republicans.
Probably because they hate her guts.
They do. She's gone unless they pull some fucking magic shit out there. She thought like this whole Jan 6 thing was gonna fucking bring her numbers up. It's not.
It's not.
Fucking going down.
That's because it feels like another witch hunt.
It is.
I mean, they're fucking bringing salt. They're mentioning Salty Cracker in Congress. Salty Cracker. was, I mean, that's like fucking Mr. Bean told me to do it. Like, what?
Mr. Bean. Here we have an insurrectionist, and they got Mr. Bean.
Who the fuck is
Mr. Bean? Oh my God. Making this dumb face. All right.
When he received his Oscar or whatever it was the best.
He got a fucking Oscar?
Yeah, he just went up on stage, grabbed it, and walked off stage. He didn't make a speech. He just looked annoyed the whole time.
Good.
That was hilarious.
Good for him. All right. Well, it's been for me, kind of low energy week. Sorry, people. I was working my butt off again. Remember, the show was sponsored by my fucking aching back. Anytime you want to send some money, just shoot it fucking towards that fucking link down below.
Yeah. Send us some money, I feel like the cut of my jib. Listen, I got a lot of bullshit to spew on here, and if you want to hear it all,
You want to hear some more shit? We might even start going live more often. You give us a couple extra bucks.
yeah. I was going to suggest we go to the Rosendale Street Fest today, but it wasn't enough time.
There's what the fuck? We got to figure out how to take this show on the road.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe it's a laptop setup with a fucking hotspot and a mini sound card. I don't know. Or maybe it's just straight off the fucking phone.
Straight up the phone, baby.
Maybe we'll do some tests.
I got a brand new phone.
Well, maybe that's the one then. Magic
phone. Fucking did not want it.
But they forced you into it?
It's what they had available.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge. Yeah.
Well, it's been
and this was one of the cheaper models. It was like $400.
Jesus.
The iPhones are like $1,000.
Why?
I
Dude,
don't know.
When they started charging that much for a phone, I was like, I did not get it. But now I get it. They took away the laptop market. Nobody fucking cares about laptops anymore. They just have their phone.
Right.
It's like, I was like, well, I can get a brand new laptop for the price of a phone. Why the fuck do I want a phone? But people aren't like me, where I want to be able to do fucking Adobe Illustrator or fucking. I need a big screen. I can't do fucking drawings on a goddamn little tiny phone.
No. You know these screens are bigger.
I can't fucking. I mean, I could edit video, but that wouldn't be any fun.
No, it's someone busy.
Write music, fucking use a music program. It's like, yeah, it can be done. And I used to have phones and do stupid shit like that on them, until I went back to the flip phone. But it was just it's not fun. It was kind of like just a novelty. It's like, look, I'm making a track on a phone.
Right.
It's like stupid.
Yeah.
You still got to export it to Ableton and do something with it. So anyhow.
Remember Digital Orchestra Plus?
Dude, I'm still looking for my copy of that.
I fucking loved that program. I loved it.
I'm looking. I had it on disc. I think some scumbag stole it from Woodstock because all the scumbags live in Woodstock.
Yeah, that's where they live. You scumbags in Woodstock.
Oh, remember to beat the crap out of the like button if anybody's still there or anybody's listening.
I don't even know. Did we have anybody? I didn't even look. Oh, there's 2 people. Me
Right
and you.
on.
No, I'm not on. I'm not watching, actually.
Right on.
I guess that's going to wrap it up, huh?
For week 23.
We'll be back next
Sanctimonious American Men.
Again?
Yeah, next week may be some issues. We're going to find out. I may be going and hanging out with Jeffrey up in Saratoga or something like that.
Toga.
So we may need to do a pre-record.
All right, well, let me know.
Maybe Friday or something. Maybe Thursday. I don't fucking know. Maybe we'll just do it right now. We'll just stop and go again. So, all right. Yeah, we'll see you again next week, one way or the other. Love you all. Keep up the good fight.
And remember,
wherever you go,
there you are.
There you are.